It is officially mock draft season, and Todd McShay over at ESPN, Todd, a longtime mainstay of the draft community. He did up his mock draft 1.0, and who did the Vikings land at number 23? This write-up is from Vikings Wire. So the Vikings go with USC wide receiver Jordan Addison. At 23, Addison is wide receiver 2 in the draft behind Quentin Nelson, who went number 12 to the Texans in Todd's mock. This is what he wrote about the Addison pick. Adam Thielen is entering his age 33 season, so Minnesota could take the best player available here and get a speedy, instinctive running mate for Justin Jefferson. Addison was just shy of 1,600 yards in 2021 at Pitt before transferring to USC and picking up another 875 and 8 scores. He has versatility to line up outside or in the slot. For those wondering why the Vikings would sidestep their defensive needs, they allowed 5.9 yards per play in 2022, third highest in the NFL. It really comes down to the board. Texas A&M safety Antonio Johnson, love his versatility. He's a diet Brian Branch, or Arkansas linebacker Drew Sanders might fit, but this is still early for both. Remember, free agency still lies ahead. But Jordan Addison, I think would be a fantastic pickup in this spot. And Todd makes a good point where you could say that the Vikings need to draft X, especially on defense, or they need to address the offensive line. There's a lot of things that the Vikings could need, but a lot of that could and should get sutured up in free agency, as well as potentially keeping some in-house guys. But Jordan Addison, I love Jordan Addison, man. I think he's a super talented player, and he's 21 years young, just turned 21 at the end of January, so super young player coming in, 6 foot, $175, started at Pitt, and then transferred to USC this season. So last year, he put up 100 catches, 1,593 yards receiving, 17 touchdowns, won the Biletnikoff Award for best wide receiver in college football, helping Kenny Pickett turn into a first-round pick for the Steelers. And then Addison said deuces to Pittsburgh, transferred to USC as Caleb Williams was coming in, transferring in, and then helped Caleb Williams win the Heisman. And Williams is probably set up to be the 2024 #1 overall pick. And Addison, 59 catches, 875, and 8 touchdowns this season. For being part of the men of Troy. He was still a first-team All-Pac-12, consensus All-American in 2021, and I really like his game a lot. He gets fantastic separation. Now, Todd says he's speedy, should test okay, but he's not going to blow the doors off the roof at the combine, but he just gets separation. He's probably the cleanest route runner in the class, could play inside and outside, so he's got a little bit more flexibility than, say, Jackson Smith and Jigba from Ohio State, who's just going to be a slot guy. And his game actually reminds me a lot of him being a little bit slender, him about 6 foot. I mean, a lot of people say Devontae Smith. I say like Marvin Harrison Sr. Now, Junior is a completely different player than Senior, but Senior, just the way that he was able to navigate, and Marvin Harrison Sr. didn't have all the measurables in the world, but he just got separation, had sure hands, and was phenomenal with Peyton Manning in Indianapolis for all those seasons. But the question is, this wide receiver class, it really is a what type of flavor of wide receiver do you want? Quentin Johnston is more the Nuke Hopkins, big bodied, Mike Williams go up and get a type guy. Jordan Addison, like we said, Marvin Harrison Sr., Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to be an absolute slot machine in the NFL. And then one of my favorite guys who they're down on, Zay Flowers. I think Zay Flowers is going to be a first-round pick. I think that he has a chance to maybe even be wide receiver 1 in this class, and he's a Percy Harvin clone. He's like Diet Debo, and the way that you can use him, his versatility, him in open space, it's just beautiful, man. So, and also Jalen Hyatt, the speedster, Rashid Rice, who I hope goes to the Bears. So it is just a question of what type of wide receiver do you want, and I think Addison coming on in and pairing up with Justin friggin' Jefferson would be phenomenal. Now, I love me some KJ Osborne forever. I think that he has the potential to be a wide receiver too, but it would be even more amazing if KJ has wide receiver 2 talent, but is wide receiver 3, or Osborne and rookie TBD are playmakers together, and maybe it's a spot where Jefferson, KJ, and this incoming rookie wide receiver TBD could thrive together as a set of triplets. Also, you got TJ Hawkinson, man, and also Ty Chandler receiving out of the backfield. So overall, I would be certainly happy with this pick. If and when the Vikings do suture up some other needs in free agency, especially addressing the trenches, they certainly could do that. And Addison, I mean, Addison has 1,000-yard potential written all over him. Plus, I think that the fact that he would be paired up with Justin friggin' Jefferson, And Addison would be getting cornerback 2s, cornerback 3s, and singled up all over the place. I think that his route running ability, his ability to decipher, beat man coverage as well as decipher zone coverage and sit down in the dead spots would be a huge asset for Kirk Cousins and this passing game going forward. So, yeah, rock and roll. Love me some Jordan Addison, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Todd McShay's, ESPN, Mock Draft 1.0. USC, Pitt wide receiver, Jordan Addison lands with the Vikings. Your thoughts and our thoughts and his thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.